Is life absurd? I was looking a little bit in Camus' book here, The Myth of Sisyphus, and he analyzes Dostoevsky, and Dostoevsky speaks of that a life without faith in immortality is an absurd life. Is this correct? In the way that existential dread happens, the feeling of absurdity in existence, that is not a false thing. It happens. That's a true feeling. I believe even Søren Kierkegaard, he understood this. Now, the thing is that it doesn't have to be like this. There is a different way here, and the other way is going outwards, all right, from core philosophy. So is life absurd? Now, we put the meaning in life, and that is how we undo the absurdity in life. Even though the existential dread might happen sometimes, or depersonalization happens sometimes, or some smaller depression or angst. So the true antidote to this is a different philosophy. It's a philosophy that captures this, but it doesn't deny this. That's important, because if you deny this, you're avoiding the most fundamental questions in life. Instead, we are to solve the meaning of life and the ultimate question in life. Is life worth living? And yes, it is, for multiple reasons, but it's interesting how he says a faith in immortality. Now, we don't need faith at all in immortality. We actually only need to work towards immortality. We don't need faith. We create our own reality, our own immortality. And that's why I speak of discipline and all of that, so that can work in the background for this work towards immortality. Now, I'm not talking about eternal immortality, but we can at the very least work towards some form of immortality. And only history can decide if you're going to be mortal or not. It is definitely worth trying, because the other option is not trying, and then you will definitely never become immortal, and never realize your higher desires, and never realize whatever you want to realize in your life, which is one of the main purposes in life. Your own life, your own health, your own subjective experience. While you're living, that's the most important thing. When you're dead, your work is the most important thing. That is precisely how we solve the problem. There is a little bit of faith in it, because I can't know for sure that my work will be immortalized after my death. But I will, put all of my soul into it so that it happens. I will make sure that this will happen. So in some sense, it's not faith. You are doing this. You are the one instigating, creating this. It's a real thing. It's not a metaphysical thing here. We're grounding everything in reality, because everything moves from health. When you are immortalized like this, your health will be increased. You will feel better in some sense. Well, as long as you live, of course. That's true health. That is greater health. That you've achieved your higher desires. And higher desires depends on the person. So it can be becoming an author. It can be a philosopher, There are ways to get here. And there are guiding principles to get here. Those are the only ones we have to follow and follow through, and we will reach it eventually. There is a grander version of this, of the whole of humanity, towards an immortalized thing. Because it is all about preservation and preserving the human species, but also whatever we've created, all right? And not just the biological, but the mark of the biological. Every painting is in some sense our way of marking our territory and telling other generations in the future that we were here. We existed. I existed. That's why I'm here. Camus, but also Nietzsche wrote Zarathustra and so forth. It is a way of saying, I was alive. I was here. And see how great I was. That's basically it. I want to achieve the truth. That's something I've always worked towards. And it will always be like that. And so, is life absurd? Yes, in the feeling. But is there a solution to life's absurdity or the feeling of absurdity? Yes, there is also that. I truly believe every problem has a solution. The same way there is a solution to math problems, physics problems, biological problems, in chemistry as well, and so forth. There is always these parts in the puzzle that we don't have yet, but there is always the whole. Perhaps we won't always solve everything, but that's what we're working towards. And this is another part of everything. So that's that. And those are my recent thoughts, and I will see you in the next.